Hello, dear friends. Today I will tell you about one mysterious topic, why and how strange tattoo design was applied to women. See to the end to find out what it brought them to. These late 19th and early 20th century photographs show some of the last Maori women to wear the traditional taumoko face marking before it was outlawed by British colonialists. Taumoko is the name for the permanent body and face marking by Maori, the indigenous people of New Zealand. The tattoos depicted the story of the wearer's family, their ancestral tribe, and their position within that group. Moko were associated with mana and high social status. However, some very high-status individuals were considered too tapu to acquire moko, and it was also not considered suitable for some tohunga to do so. Receiving moko constituted an important milestone between childhood and adulthood, and was accompanied by many rites and rituals. Apart from signaling status and rank, another reason for the practice in traditional times was to make a person more attractive to the opposite sex. Men generally receive moko on their faces, buttocks, wrap rape, and thighs. Puvoro. Other parts of the body known to have moko include women's foreheads, buttocks, thighs, necks, and backs, and men's backs, stomachs, and calves. While its exact origins are unknown, the art of taumoko came from Eastern Polynesian culture. Before the needle was introduced, taumoko instruments consisted of ui chisels made of bone that would carve directly into the skin, leaving grooves rather than smooth skin. As such, the taumoko process was long and painful, taking as long as a year for a piece to be completed. The pigment used in taumoko was usually made from charcoal mixed with oil or liquid from plants, known as waiangarahu. It was stored in special containers. Women continued receiving moko through the early 20th century, and the historian Michael King in the early 1907 is interviewing over 70 elderly women who would have been given the moko before the 1907 Tohunga Suppression Act. Women were traditionally only tattooed on their lips, around the chin, and sometimes the nostrils. After the Brits colonized New Zealand, taumoko declined as a cultural form. This was partly due to the Tohunga Suppression Act of 1907, which outlawed Maori medical practices. As these were closely linked to Maori spiritual and cultural traditions, the Maoris lost much of their culture and became what was termed as a lost race. The act was eventually repealed in 1962. Since the 1990s, there has been a resurgence of the practice of taumoko for both men and women as a sign of their cultural Maori identity. When New Zealand was colonized in the 1800s, the ancient Maori practice of mokokoi or sacred female facial tattooing began to fade away. Now the art form is having a resurgence. Here's what it means to stamp your identity on your face. For New Zealand Maori women, the mokokoi, or traditional female chin tattoo, is considered a physical manifestation of their true identity. It is believed every Maori woman wears a moko on the inside, close to their heart. When they are ready, the tattoo artist simply brings it out to the surface. Last month, Nanea Mehuta became the first member of parliament in the world to wear a mokokoi. The 46-year-old made history not only because of her decision to wear her Maori identity on her face in a political arena, but as part of the resurgence of Maori women receiving the traditional aid. There were a number of milestones in my life, and it felt right to mark them in a way that is a positive statement about my identity. Nanea below tells broadly who I am, where I come from, and the contribution I want to continue to make. When I got it done, I felt incredibly calm. I felt like it had always been there. Nanea's moko marked the anniversary of her father's death, and the designs incorporate the traditional carving patterns of her tribe, Ngati Maniapoto. But she also received the moko to inspire her 3-year-old daughter. As a young Maori woman, I want my daughter to know that everything is at her fingertips. She just needs to reach forward and grab it. Nanea's first time in parliament wearing the moko was emotional. There was a huge amount of pride from other Maori women. She recalls, "It's interesting thing. It's a cultural marker, and it says clearly when I'm sitting round a table that I do represent a certain way of thinking." Maori facial and body tattooing is known as taumoko, an ancient art form. Its origin lies in West Polynesia. The intricate designs were chiseled into the skin using a tool called an ui. Ink was then smudged into the carved lines. Taumoko represents the wearer's family heritage and social status. It is believed that the receiver visits a spiritual realm where they encounter their ancestors, returning as a new person. Thank you for watching. Put like to motivate me to look for more exclusive photos of the past. You can look at other interesting videos on my channel.